Financial intelligence is not reserved for bankers, investors, or people born into comfort. It begins quietly, in moments so small they are usually ignored. A glance at a bank balance before spending, a pause before tapping, buy now, a decision to learn one new financial word instead of scrolling endlessly. In 2026, money will not reward the loud or the lucky, but the aware. The world is shifting toward invisible transactions, digital assets, subscriptions, and algorithms that profit from ignorance. Those who survive and thrive will not be those who earn the most, but those who understand what their money is doing when they are not looking. One tiny habit changes everything, knowing where your money goes. Not guessing. Not hoping. Knowing. When you track even roughly, spending transforms from a blur into a mirror. You begin to see patterns, impulses, emotional leaks. This awareness alone can outperform complex budgets, because it rewires behavior without force. Once you see the cost of convenience, the price of boredom, and the tax of impulse, spending starts to correct itself naturally. Another small shift is paying yourself first, even if the amount feels almost meaningless. A few dollars set aside consistently sends a powerful signal to your brain that saving is non-negotiable. Over time, this habit builds discipline, confidence, and momentum. Money stops feeling like something that escapes you and starts feeling like something you direct. Automation amplifies this effect, turning discipline into default, and removing emotion from decisions that should never depend on mood. Financially smart people in 2026 will also speak the language of money. They will know what interest really costs, how inflation silently erodes savings, and why debt behaves differently depending on its purpose. Learning these basics is not about becoming an expert, but about becoming unexploitable. Every term you understand is one less lever the system can pull against you. The final habit is restraint in a world designed to drain attention and wallets. Delaying gratification is no longer about patience, but about power. When you choose long-term stability over short-term pleasure, you reclaim control. Over months and years, these tiny decisions compound into clarity, resilience, and confidence. Financial intelligence is not a destination. It is a quiet daily practice, and in 2026, those who master it will move through the world with freedom while others wonder where their money went. Financial literacy does not arrive as a dramatic breakthrough or a sudden rise in income. It grows quietly, shaped by habits so small they appear insignificant in isolation. People often believe that money mastery requires complex strategies, secret knowledge, or a dramatic change in lifestyle. In reality, it is built the same way nature builds mountains and galaxies, through slow accumulation over time. A single choice to check an account balance before spending, to question a purchase instead of justifying it, to set aside a small amount consistently, these actions seem trivial in the moment, yet they alter the trajectory of a financial life. Wealth is not created by intensity but by repetition, by doing the right small thing again and again until it becomes automatic. The human brain is not designed to think in decades, yet money operates on long timelines. This mismatch is why so many intelligent people struggle financially. Tiny habits solve this problem by shrinking the future into manageable daily actions. When financial decisions become routine rather than emotional events, anxiety fades and clarity emerges. You no longer need motivation or willpower, because the system carries you forward. Over time, these habits shape identity. You stop seeing yourself as someone who hopes to be good with money and begin to act like someone who already is. This identity shift is far more powerful than any single financial win. Small money decisions also compound faster than large, rare moves. People chase big raises, sudden investments, or dramatic side hustles, while ignoring daily leaks that quietly drain resources. A subscription forgotten, an impulse purchase repeated, convenience chosen over intention, these are minor on their own, yet devastating in aggregate. Just as compound interest can work for you, compound neglect can work against you. Tiny financial choices repeated daily create exponential outcomes, not because they are impressive, but because they are persistent. When you adjust small behaviors, the math of your life changes. Saving a modest amount regularly beats saving nothing while waiting for the perfect moment. Investing early, even with little capital, allows time to do the heavy lifting. Awareness multiplied by consistency produces results that feel almost unfair to those who ignore the process. Financial intelligence is not about dramatic transformation. It is about aligning small actions with long-term reality, allowing time, discipline, and compounding to quietly reshape your future while you focus on living. Most people believe the secret to financial stability is earning more, yet income alone is a weak predictor of security. What truly matters is awareness of cash flow, the invisible river of money moving through your life. Without awareness, even a high salary can vanish without explanation. With awareness, even modest earnings can create stability. When you understand exactly how money enters and exits your world, financial confusion dissolves. You stop reacting to money problems and start anticipating them. This awareness transforms money from a source of stress into a system you can observe, measure, and adjust. Cash flow awareness is not about restriction or guilt. It is about clarity. When you see where money goes, decisions naturally change. You begin to recognize which expenses add value and which merely fill silence or soothe emotion. This understanding creates freedom, because you are no longer guessing. You are no longer surprised by the end of the month. You gain the ability to redirect money intentionally, aligning spending with priorities rather than impulses. In a world engineered to extract attention and cash, awareness becomes a form of defense, a quiet shield against financial chaos. Automation then takes this awareness and turns it into power. Human beings are inconsistent by nature. We are emotional, distracted, and easily influenced by convenience. Expecting discipline to carry financial success is unrealistic. Automation removes the fragile human element from critical decisions. When saving, investing, and bill payments happen automatically, progress continues regardless of mood, motivation, or circumstance. The system works even on days when you are tired, busy, or discouraged. This is not about surrendering control, but about designing intelligence into your environment. Automated systems act like invisible assistants, protecting your future self from your present impulses. A small automatic transfer into savings or investments builds momentum quietly. Over time, the habit no longer feels like sacrifice. It feels like alignment. Money begins to move with purpose rather than accident. In 2026, financial success will favor those who understand systems over those who rely on willpower. Awareness shows you the truth of your financial reality. Automation ensures that the truth leads to action. Together, they form a loop of clarity and consistency. You see what is happening, and the system responds without requiring constant effort. This is how ordinary people achieve extraordinary financial stability. Not through dramatic decisions, but through intelligent structures that work silently in the background, shaping outcomes while life continues to unfold. In a world saturated with financial products, algorithms, and persuasive language, understanding basic financial terms is no longer optional. Every unfamiliar word creates a power imbalance. Interest, inflation, leverage, liquidity, risk, these are not abstract concepts reserved for experts, they are forces acting on your money every day. When you do not understand the language, decisions are made for you by institutions that do. Learning the fundamentals is not about becoming sophisticated, it is about becoming protected. Each concept you grasp removes a layer of confusion and replaces it with clarity. You begin to see how money behaves under pressure, how costs hide inside percentages, and how promises are often framed to benefit the seller more than the buyer. Financial language sharpens perception. Once you understand how compound interest works, debt stops feeling neutral and starts revealing its true weight over time. Once you grasp inflation, idle money no longer feels safe sitting still. Knowledge changes behavior automatically, without force. You ask better questions, pause before signing agreements, and recognize traps disguised as convenience. This awareness quietly shifts the balance of power. You are no longer navigating blindly through a system designed by others. You are participating with understanding, which is the foundation of confidence and control. Alongside knowledge comes a skill that grows increasingly rare in a hyperstimulated world, the ability to delay gratification. Modern economies are built on immediacy. One-click purchases, instant credit, same-day delivery. Every system is engineered to collapse time, offering pleasure now in exchange for cost later. Delaying gratification breaks this spell. It creates space between impulse and action, where intelligence can intervene. That pause, however small, is where financial strength is born. When you resist the urge to consume immediately, you are not denying yourself pleasure, you are choosing alignment with your future. This choice compounds psychologically as much as financially. Each act of restraint reinforces self-trust. You prove to yourself that short-term emotion does not control long-term direction. Over time, this rewires desire itself. You begin to value stability over stimulation, progress over appearance, substance over speed. In the coming years, those who master money will not be those with the highest income, but those with the strongest filters. They will understand the language well enough to see through persuasion and possess the patience to wait for outcomes that matter. Financial intelligence emerges when knowledge and restraint work together, creating a calm, deliberate relationship with money that grows stronger through consistency rather than urgency. In a world driven by appearances, people are trained to confuse lifestyle with success. Cars, gadgets, travel, and branded comfort become public signals, while the true measure of financial health remains invisible. Net worth tells a deeper story. It reveals whether money is working for you or quietly working against you. Someone can look prosperous while standing on fragile ground, supported by debt and constant pressure. Another person may appear ordinary while building a foundation of assets, savings, and flexibility. Financial intelligence begins when focus shifts from what is displayed to what is owned, controlled, and protected. Net worth represents accumulated choices over time. It reflects patience, restraint, and long-term thinking rather than momentary pleasure. When you track net worth, even roughly, priorities change. You start asking whether a decision strengthens your position or weakens it. Spending becomes intentional rather than reactive. You begin to understand that true freedom comes not from what you consume, but from what you no longer owe. This perspective dissolves the illusion that more visibility equals more success and replaces it with a quieter, more powerful sense of progress. Alongside this shift comes a realization that intelligence alone is not the decisive factor in financial outcomes. Many highly intelligent people struggle with money, while others with modest knowledge thrive. The difference is consistency. Money rewards behavior repeated over time, not brilliance expressed occasionally. A simple habit applied steadily will outperform a complex strategy used sporadically. Consistency transforms small actions into structural change. It removes dependence on motivation, mood, or perfect timing. When you consistently save, invest, learn, and review, results become inevitable. The system begins to carry you forward. Progress no longer feels dramatic, but it becomes reliable. This reliability is what creates confidence. You trust your process because it has proven itself through repetition. Financial growth stops feeling like a gamble and starts feeling like a trajectory. In the years ahead, the gap between those who appear wealthy and those who are financially secure will widen. Those who focus on net worth will quietly gain options, flexibility, and peace of mind. Those who chase appearance will remain trapped in cycles of pressure and comparison. Consistency will be the silent force that separates these paths. Not talent, not luck, not sudden insight, but the steady application of simple principles over time. Financial intelligence emerges when focus and repetition align, allowing progress to compound while distractions fade into the background.